This is beautiful. I really do like it. It is very smooth for a 2010. Full bodied, but not over the top heavy. What do you get when you taste it?
I certainly get there's a black currant, and I think I love the color of it, and I love and it's kind of sweet to me. It's got a nice sweet tannin to me. I love the currants in it. I like it's a little florally, but it's not over the top floral, right?
Right, absolutely. No, it's lovely. One other question I have to ask, because I know you're such a big proponent of Canadian companies. Why didn't you make a wine in Niagara or the Okanagan?
It's a question that I do get asked a lot, and I can tell you that I am looking into actually making a wine up here now. Oh. The reason I bought and I got involved with this company is there's a long story behind it, of which was partly a commitment that I'd made to do this a long time ago, and because I wanted to stick to my commitment, I did it. But I also think that we can't be so protective about everything. We have to think about being global operators, just like the way the Canadian wineries need to sell their products worldwide. They need to also accept that people have varying tastes and they're going to buy product from around the world. So I'm not going to apologize that it's not a Canadian wine, but I will tell you that I will definitely look to be doing a Canadian wine, and I would like to support a winemaker here that can come up with a great product, and there's lots of them. So I'm excited about it, but it doesn't mean that this is any less because it's not Canadian.
Absolutely, and I'm sure after we post this video, you will be getting a lot more tweets and emails.
I hope so. I do want the Canadian wineries to know that I'm definitely committed to doing something up here as well.
Wow. Who in the wine world do you admire, Arlene? Whether it's a winemaker or a sommelier or anyone, is there someone who comes to mind whom you admire?
I think a single individual, no, but I do. There are a lot of, what I really like are the wineries where they're small boutique wineries where it's kind of an art that's really important to the people that run the winery. So there are a lot of those, and there are many of those in Canada, in fact. But they're, the ones that aren't into the mass production, and not that I don't think they're wonderful. I do think though that these small batch wineries are coming up with little kind of jewels and little pieces of art, and that fascinates me. So I like that a lot. That appeals to me. And I also like the people who kind of left behind their life and said, I'm going to go and buy a winery, and followed their dream. And so, there's, whether it's, there's so many of them now that have done that in the U.S. And even some people in Canada have done that, right, where they've bought
Absolutely.
A winery and they've quit their corporate jobs and they're pursuing their dreams. So I admire that too.
Yeah, it seems to be wine is the sunny second refuge of new careers, whether you've been a doctor or a lawyer or, from all walks of life, actually. The interesting stories, which is what makes this business, I think, so fascinating.
It is, and every time you go on like wine tours and you stop in somewhere and you actually talk to the owners, they all have great stories. So I admire that. I love to. We're back to mentorship, right? There's a great story everywhere.
Absolutely. Well, to finish up, if you could have a glass of wine with anyone, living or dead, in history, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow, that's a tough question. I mean, from a personal perspective, if I could have anyone back for a moment in my life, it would be my father. So I would say that I would want to have a glass of wine with my dad.
Would you share this one with him?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think he'd enjoy it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Arlene. This was a wonderful conversation. I wish you all the best with this. I'll post the links as to where people can buy this wine.
Thank you.
And keep on doing the great work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Natalie.